What is going on, everyone? Good morning and welcome to the show. I'm DSP. This is the Level 1 Podcast. Today is Saturday, this 18th of November, 2023. And it's time for a return to Multiplayer Madness today per your requests. You guys were so upset with me that over the last week, I took Call of Duty and I put it on night streams, that you have campaigned to have it return to daytime streams, which you're getting today. This is what you wanted, so you get what you ask for, all right? I'm a man of the people, as they say. If you ask for something, I will give it to you, all right? So, we'll obviously see how that goes today. Hopefully it goes well and you guys enjoy Call of Duty. But we got a lot to talk about today, all right? First of all, last night, I returned to Street Fighter 6 for the first time in over a month. How did it go? Did it go well? Was it a disaster? Did people like it? Did people hate it? We'll talk about that right here on the show, all right? In addition, we got some news to talk about today. Big updates and big stories. We've got The Last of Us 2 getting a remaster already, which we all kind of talked about when the Last of Us 1 remaster came out, and we were like, so what do you mean? This is going to remake The Last of Us 2 now? Ha 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 ha. Oh, they are. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a joke, but I guess it's real. Wow. It's not so funny anymore, is it? Anyway, in addition, we have a big news story that normally would not necessarily be something that I would cover too much on this show, but it might affect us all soon who use social media because, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not aware, Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it, is currently suffering an ad-pocalypse. Exactly the same thing that happened on YouTube right here 6 years ago is happening on Twitter and X right now. And there's varying different opinions on why it's happening. There's lawsuits being thrown around. So we're going to talk about that today on the show because it's kind of an interesting story. Okay? So, all that. But before we even get to any of that, okay, I have something that I want to throw out there because I want everyone's opinion. As you know, on this very show, every day we talk about various topics, and a lot of the time I get great feedback from you guys regarding things that I should do or shouldn't do, about the schedule, about projects that I work on, and the like. And this year, I've listened to your feedback a lot. I really have. And I feel that this year, the content has been better for it. All right? Well, I have something that I want to run by you guys. We've already talked about it earlier this week, but I want to run it by you guys because there's been some developments, all right? And I want you all to know what's going on, and I want your feedback on this. And I want you to be honest, brutally honest. I want you to be 100% honest with me. If you're here live right now, I want feedback, and if you're watching this on demand, I also want feedback, okay? So here we go. As you guys know, about a week ago now, I don't even remember anymore. I really don't. Time just passes by so quickly now that I lose track of everything. A documentary, yes, another one, was made about me on YouTube. Yes, it was titled with a clickbait title that was very negative. People who've seen the documentary say it's a mixed bag, that there's a lot of bad stuff about me, and there's stuff that's more fair. A lot of it analyzes a lot of my haters and stuff like that, too. But I guess it was made by a YouTube documentarian called Turkey Tom, okay? I haven't seen it. I don't have 2 hours to sit there and watch yet another documentary about myself right now. And when it came out, all right, people said to me, will you react to it? And I said, well, honestly, this year we've been staying away from this kind of content. You know, earlier in the year I reacted to the Second Wings of Redemption documentary. I think it was a Keemstar documentary, or was that last year? It might have been last year. And we also reacted to oh god, the guy, I can't even remember his name anymore. It's completely slipped my mind. The guy who used to work for Screw Attack, and then he went off to his own content, and there was the big controversy about him supposedly soliciting people for sexual pictures and stuff. I can't even remember his name. I seriously can't even remember his name. Okay? I've forgotten. So what I mean, I've been so out of the drama this year, after that stuff earlier this year, I don't even really think about it anymore, right? This year, here's what happened. As you guys know. Yeah, Pro Jared, thank you. I've totally forgotten about the guy. Earlier this year, we had the stupid Side-Scrollers interview. We all know how that went. Nothing but drama after it, correct? Keemstar trying to pull me into drama constantly. Then drama with Boogie and Wings that want to do a podcast with me. Then they flip on me, and now they want to do a podcast with Keemstar. And now that entire thing is falling apart. What a shocking twist that exactly what I said would happen is happening, right? Wow, just a huge revelation that would happen, right? That the show is a shit show and everyone's quitting. Wow, what a big surprise, correct? Anyway, I've done everything I could to stay out of drama this year, correct? I really have. Like, after all that nonsense happened, the direct feedback I got from you guys and gals was that all you care about is me making content for this channel. You want to see me play games, do a podcast, do some fun React stuff that's not drama, have a good time with you guys, and that's what it's all about. And I've done that, right? I've pretty much done everything I possibly can to stay out of the drama. So, when this Turkey Tom documentary came out about a week ago or so, whenever it was, people told me about it or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. And people were like, well, will you respond to it? Will you watch it? Will you do a live react? And I was like, right now we're in the busiest time of the year. I'm backdated on games, right? Like, I'm backlogged. I'm trying to finish up the games that I've been playing. I finished them. Now we're playing the next batch of games. This is the busiest time of the year for what I'm due as a content creator, right? In my opinion, it's the best time of year as a content creator. We got the best weather. We got the best amount of variety of games. We got a lot going on, correct? So, do I want to take time out from me doing what I love to sit here and entertain drama? And overwhelmingly, the answer you guys gave me a week ago was no, don't do it. Forget it. Don't do it. Stay out of it. Whatever. Now, in the meantime, people have kind of like piecemeal mentioned things about the documentary here on my streams. A couple people talked about how, I guess Tom questioned how I got my job at the helicopter company. I guess he claimed nepotism, and apparently there was an impression that my dad was a manager at the company. No, he wasn't. He was not any kind of a higher up at the company ever. That's completely false. And there's other things, I guess, that were said in the documentary that were Tom's opinions, and a lot of people are like, well, you could easily respond to this stuff and say that it's not true or to prove it's not true or whatever. And I'm like, well, every once in a while I would mention it, right? I would talk about it on a stream. You know, the one thing that I really sadly have a big issue with is just the name of the documentary. I think he called it A Decade of Failure, right? To which I responded, if you wanted to call it A Decade of Decline or, a decade of, I don't know, like losing prominence, because at one point I was a big gaming YouTuber, and then over the last decade, admittedly, I've lost that prominence. I'm not prominent at all anymore. No one thinks of DSP when they think of big gaming YouTubers at all. But the thing is, I don't aspire to be, never did I ever aspire to be a big gaming YouTuber. My choices have directly been anti-YouTube popularity. I never used the thumbnails. I never used the clickbait titles. I didn't edit my content. I didn't collaborate with other people. I didn't take sponsorships and partnerships. I didn't go on trips for promotion. Literally, I did the opposite of what a YouTuber typically does to try to be popular, to be true to myself. And I'm happy. Like, I'm happy 10 years later, despite the fact that I'm so small time, I'm still happy with who I am and the content that I put out. So how is that a failure, right? So anyway, after having talked about it on and off over the last, week or two, because again, I don't even remember when the documentary came out, Turkey Tom had said in a video that he wanted to basically, like, interview me, all right? So I said, contact me. So just so you guys know, I want to give you an update on that, all right? He did. He contacted me. We went back and forth via DM. And essentially, he's like, I want to talk about everything. I want to talk about WWE Champions mobile games. I want to talk about Keemstar and the LOL podcast. I want to talk about the history of you as a content creator. I want to talk about your fan base. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about that, all right? So basically, I responded to the guy. I want you guys to let you know. I'm transparent. I want you guys to know what's going on, all right? So I responded to him, and I was like, look, never in my history as a content creator have I ever had a problem talking about what I do for a living, the content I put out, my community and my fan base. Like, these are all positive things. I'm totally down for any of that discussion. But I am not down for a drama discussion. I already said what I had to say about all that drama stuff earlier this year in the Side Scrollers podcast, right? So I have nothing else to say. If you literally sat down with me and asked me about all the same shit, about all the conspiracy theories around me, I'm going to give you exactly the same answers because they are my truthful answers and they're never going to change. That was the point in doing that interview earlier this year, was to get the answers in one spot. You want my answers, you got them. You don't have to believe them, but at least you have the answers and you can stop bugging me about it, right? This is exactly the same thing that Mutahar or some ordinary gamers asked me about 2-3 months ago. He offered me $5,000 for an interview and I DM'd him. Well, he DM'd me and I said, listen, I don't want to talk about the drama. I've already given my answers. If you want to talk about any other topic, I'm down, but I don't want your money. Number one, I reject your money. I'm never going to take payment for an interview. That's ridiculous. And number two, it's not going to be about this drama stuff I've already answered. And he literally never responded after that. Why? Because he's only interested in drama. It's all he wants is drama topics. That's what he's going to make money on, right? Doesn't want to have an actual intelligent, logical conversation with me about anything. All you want is the lolcow shit, right? So guess what? I say, no, I'm not going to do that because I have no interest in it. I've already talked about it. And that's it. These people move on. So in the case of Turkey Tom, I went back to him and I said, listen, I'm not going to talk about any of the drama shit. I'm just not. You know, and another thing I said was, I want to have absolutely no involvement whatsoever with Keemstar. So if that means this is going to be something that's going to be on the LOLcow podcast or talked about on the LOLcow podcast or anything else that has to do with him, I have nothing to do with it. I hate the guy. As we all know, there's good reason. The guy is treating me like dirt, despite the fact that all I ever did was turn him down for his podcast. I never even was officially offered to be on his show. Yet he acts like I was and shit like that. Like, he's nuts. The guy's a fucking egomaniac nut job, right? So I was like, I want nothing to do with the guy. So no, if you're going to have any involvement with that, nothing with that, and I'm not going to bring up drama anymore. But if you want to talk about anything else, that would probably be acceptable. And he said, all right, so, what about a discussion about you and your history as a content creator and your fan base and the content you put out and that kind of stuff, right? And I was like, maybe. And I said, well, what would the format be? And he's like, well, it wouldn't be a stream or anything. It would just be like a one-on-one conversation we have that he would put out as an interview video on his channel. And I said, all right, interesting. But I haven't responded past that, okay? I haven't gotten past that. Why? Because before I make any decisions whatsoever, I want to present this to you guys. All right? Is this something that you feel, number one, would be interesting that you want to see? Number two, do you think that this guy is a fair interviewer and would do a fair interview? I don't know much about Turkey Tom at all. I don't watch his content, so I don't know. I don't know what would come of it. Number three, is this even something worth bothering? Or should I stick to my guns, as I said I would do earlier this year, and literally just stay away, right? Should I just stay away from this and say, this isn't going to benefit anyone or anything? I don't, what's the point? Right now, again, I am so busy with stuff, as you guys know. I'm in the midst of playing a ton of new games that we're juggling. We got special events coming up. We got a Thanksgiving Day event. We've got the Black Friday event. Then we're going to start planning for the Christmas event. I'm still juggling my reaction. I'm doing a million projects as it is, correct? So the question that to you guys is, do you feel there's any benefit whatsoever to doing this? Or do you feel that no, there's no positive benefit at all? There's no point in doing it. That's the feedback that I need. So now I'm telling you guys about this for the first time, correct? I want to get feedback, and I'm going to try to take in your feedback in the next day or so. And then once I get all of your feedback on this, then I will respond back to Tom and let him know my ultimate decision. All right? So I'm just being fair here, right? I'm trying to be as fair as I can about all of this stuff. I don't want to outright tell the guy no without a proper consideration. But I also want to be sure, and like I've told you guys, it's not just about me, it's about all of us. This is a community, right? Anything that I do can positively or negatively affect all of you as well, and I know that. So, what do you feel that there's any benefit, right? So right now, I can tell you right now, there's a mixed opinion in the chat right now, okay? I'll just read a few random responses for you guys. A few random responses. Here we go. That whole lane of YouTube is just whack, not interested. If you phrase it that way, yeah, I could see something positive coming out of it. It depends entirely on how it goes. My opinion is don't do it. Last time it blew up in your face. Depends on how much he's offering. He'll just ask the same questions every other interviewer has done. He's not offering anything. There's no offer of pay. I'm not taking pay for any interview. If you can get the rights to the final edit. What? It's just an interview. What? It's just an interview. This isn't like a giant documentary with final edits. It's just an interview, dude. It's just like talking back and forth, a conversation. We saw what happened with the side scrollers. Do not do it. Okay? Tom is generally unbiased. If it won't go into obvious troll topics, it might actually be good. Stay away from it. It could be a good opportunity for newer viewers to check out your stuff. Let me keep going here. Let's see here. I'm not trying to question it. Why wouldn't you take pay for an interview? Because I'm not a greedy piece of shit, and I don't think that it's worth... Just like I said, I would never charge for an autograph. I would never charge for a meet and greet session. I would never charge for a conversation. That's ridiculous. I'm not any better than anyone else on this planet. You understand? We're all the same. So why would I charge for a conversation? That doesn't even make sense to me. That's insane, right? It's literally nuts. I don't even understand that logic behind it, right? So, why not? Yes, you'll gain attention. Some might be of the wrong kind, but it's still attention. The fact that random people in the chat are just saying don't do it speaks volumes. Look at this. Yeah. More than likely, it will come off as negative. You won't receive any more new viewers, let alone supporters. Wow. See, here's the difference, right? Here's what I'm seeing as a big difference here. Earlier this year, if you remember, late last year is when a lot of YouTubers started name-dropping me in a very negative way. And I said that's when I wanted to be interviewed. I was like, if you're going to name-drop me, then give me the benefit of the doubt and interview me and have a real conversation with me about what I do and who I am, rather than just shitting on me constantly with all the stupid memes. Actually meet the real me. No YouTuber stepped up to the plate to do that. Only the drama YouTubers, who I was never going to do an interview with anyway. So then I was done. I said I wasn't going to do it. And then all of a sudden, Side Scrollers restarted as a show on YouTube after having been defunct for over a decade, I think. And they were supposed to be a variety show. And the whole idea was that I was going to be on their show. They invited me as a guest for their variety show. And I accepted in that regard. And then they turned it into they want to do a giant drama interview. And I was like, well, I'll do it, but the whole understanding is we do it, and then I'll be a guest on your show as a normal guest. And that's when it was a complete lie. They baited me into being on the show for an insanely long interview, which they personally benefited from in huge ways, and they milked for months after. They then rescinded the offer for me to be on the show as a regular guest. Literally in an email, it says right there, we're not going to have you on the show because of this drama, because we don't believe your answers. I'm like, that wasn't the arrangement we had. The arrangement we had was there's the interview and then the guest. And you basically have gone back on that. And then on top of that, like I said, they just continued to milk it for months and months. So, you know, it wasn't the intention that I was even going to do the interview with those guys. I was already out of caring about the interview, and you know, it went pretty much horribly, as we all kind of, I think, expected, right? For me, it served the purpose of, at least, like I said, if anyone wants to hear my answers on the drama, you hear the answers from the interview and it's done. Because now no one comes to this channel anymore and asks me about that nonsense. Literally, they don't. And that's great. I don't have to hear about that bullshit ever again. I did the interview. Gave my answers. We're done, right? So, that's great. But, yeah, it hurt everyone. It hurt me. It hurt them. You know what I mean? You know, just, it sucks because I don't want to do anything that's going to hurt not only me, but you guys too. So, again, I'm taking it, I would say feedback in the chat is about 66-33. 66% of the people are against it with Turkey Tom, and 33 are like, man, give it a shot. I would like more feedback. If you watch this podcast every day, please give me your feedback, whether it be an email, whether you leave a comment on this video. Let me know what you personally think. Should I go through with it or not? Right? Like I said, there's a lot of factors here. Number one, I'm so busy anyway with all this other stuff going on. And that's not an excuse not to do it. It's just a fact. I'm juggling a bunch of games. I got special events coming up. I've already got all this stuff going on right now. Right? So for me to do this interview, I'd have to find a time to squeeze it in, or it would suffer. One of my other streams or projects would have to suffer to have time to do this to begin with. But would it be beneficial? You guys would know this guy better than me. I don't know. I haven't seen the documentary. I haven't watched any of his content. I don't know anything about him. So to me, it's like, don't know shit. So that's why I'm kind of relying on you guys for your feedback. Okay? See, Sly Fox fan says, if you could have a reasonable discussion and talk about, like, normal things, that would be fine, as long as it's not an interrogation like trolls want. I kind of agree with you there, but again, I can't make the guy ask certain questions or whatever. That'd be kind of stupid, no? Cracker Jack says, only if he pays you. I'm not going to take, again, I'm not taking any payment for an interview. That's ridiculous. Again, totally again. Here's the thing, and this is what you'll find. This is the difference between me and everybody else, is I have principles, and I adhere to those principles, and I always have adhered to those principles when it comes to content creation, what I put out on YouTube. You guys know that. That's why I haven't taken every fucking opportunity like most YouTubers, and I don't have paid sponsorships. I don't get paid to play games. I don't do any of that shilling shit. I never have. I have principles against it. You know, my principles, no, I'm not going to accept payment for an interview. That's ridiculous. If someone wants to have a conversation, it's just a fucking normal human conversation. I'm not better than anyone else. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not an important figure. I don't deserve to be paid to talk to somebody. That's stupid, you know? That's really dumb. Have a middle person that I trust at the interview. I understand what you're saying, Gotti Senpai, but again, how elaborate is now we're going to have fucking third parties come in to moderate? It's just a fucking conversation. Again, you see what I'm saying? The thing, what you have to understand is, if I did the interview and the questions come out and they're just like annoying troll questions, I'd be like, I already told you I'm not doing that. Bye, and fucking leave, right? There's no problem there. I'm 41 years old. I can handle myself. I talked to the fucking side scrollers for over 5 hours, right? I handled myself. I'm not in any position where I can't handle myself. I'm going to fall apart and break down and get baited by troll questions. That would never happen. Literally, it would never be, the bait would never happen. I'm not stupid, right? But at the same time, I understand what you're saying. Like, what's the point? Here's the thing. If we agree up front, I don't think that would happen, right? Again, the question is, what is the benefit? Is it beneficial to me? Is it beneficial to the business? Is it beneficial to you guys, the community? Or is this something that's just too stupidly another risk, not worth taking? Stick to what I'm doing, stay in my lane, and just enjoy what we're doing now. It's really up to you guys. I leave it up to you. All right? Seriously, all these people literally saying different things. Well, he said in his video that he has no ill will towards you. I mean, I believe that at the same time, the name of his documentary is A Decade of Failure. Failure, what failure? Again, everyone's definition of success and failure is different. Sounds to me like his definition of success is growth in views and money. That's not my definition of success. It's not. That's financial success. That's exactly what that is. That's not overall being happy. I'm much more happy today than I ever was back when I was financially successful on YouTube as a different kind of content creator. So to me, I'm more successful now than I was. But to him, that's failure. You see? It's a subjective thing. All right, well, this is why I'm glad we talked about this first. We got it out of the way. That's exactly why I wanted to bring it up first on the show today. Okay, so now I've gotten your opinions, and you guys seem to be split, right? You guys absolutely seem to be split on it. I absolutely would like to take in more opinions on this, so please, again, share if you're watching this on demand, which many of you do. Many of you do watch this on demand, and I would absolutely love to hear more, all right? More opinions. So please share your opinions, and let me know, all right? Thank you. Cool. All right, so after I take in your opinions for a day or two, I'll make a final decision. So probably by the end of this week, probably like Tuesday, I'll make a final decision. I'll let you all know, and obviously I'll let him know too. And probably I'll go back to him today, and I'll say, just so you know, I've asked my audience. It's more about them than me at this point, and we'll see what they have to say. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about yesterday. Because yesterday, I returned... Well, first of all, Super Mario RPG Remake, I don't have a lot to say about it. It's great. It plays just like the original game with some improvements, like being able to summon Toad, and he gives you, like, bonuses and stuff during fights. The graphics are good, although a little bit choppy on the Switch. The frame rate does dip a bit. The soundtrack remix is amazing. It's great, but the original game is great too. So, like, I'm not surprised it's good, but at the same time, I get the feeling it's going to be exactly as I thought. That first stream was great because people were curious. What is this? I guarantee you, as we continue to play the game, it'll probably decline in viewership. That's what happens with every single first-party Nintendo game. The funny part is, it's not a first-party Nintendo game. It's third-party. It was made by Square Enix. But we'll see what happens. I like it. I'll continue to play it. It was a good session. Check it out. Last night, I went back to Street Fighter 6 for the first time in over a month. I wanted to play with Dalsim. I've been actually wanting to play with Dalsim for a very long time. And stayed away because, you know, I was getting to master level with characters like Lily and Blanca and Honda. And people constantly yelling and screaming for master level ranked gameplay, which I gave you. But you know what? It got tired. It did. Like, when you get to that master level and it's all sweats, right? It's all, oh my god, I gotta always spam my fucking stupid, repetitive, top-tier character pattern because I'm a fucking idiot who doesn't even know how to play this game. So I pick Ken, and I pick fucking DJ, and I pick fucking Jury. I do the same thing over and over like a no-brained idiot. And it gets annoying. It's just not fun to play when you're constantly seeing that kind of shit over and over. It's just, it's too... It's almost like stomach turning. Like, this is what the game is at top tier. Just fucking have no brain in your head and just go dur, 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 and play a pattern, right? But that's what it is, because the certain characters are so overpowered. So, last night, I said, I want to do something completely different. We're coming back after a month away. I want to play Dalsim. Let's go to casual matches. I watched some top-level Dalsims play. And I've had a great time last night. In the 2.5 hours that I played with Dalsim, I learned stuff. I actually won some really good matches against, if you can believe it, diamond players. Yes, not master, but diamond players I was beating with my basic just learning Dalsim. And it was fun again, because it was fun to pick a different character and do stuff that wasn't the same pattern shit. You know what I mean? Like, when you kind of get a character and you kind of know what to do, now you just do it over and over, and it gets kind of repetitive. In this case, I'm learning with Dalsim, and so just so you know, 35 wins, 22 losses. That's a pretty good win-loss ratio for me just trying out Dalsim for the first time in many months. Remember, last time I played him was what? like June, July, and I was using him casually when we did those nights against viewers, but I haven't used him in any capacity in a very long time. It actually went really well. However, I do have a lot to learn. I was dropping combos, like for example, one of the best strategies with Dalsim is to not use level 1 supers, save his super for, so he always has level 2 or level 3. Level 2 can get you out of a lot of situations. It can get you out of a lot of rush down and lockdown and corner situations, right? Level 3, super damaging, and it's very short range, but it's great for combos. My problem is I don't know the combos. Like, I was watching the top tier players, and I swear they would do a combo that would end in, like, the upwards Yoga Blast, and then they would 2-in-1 that, canceled into the level 3. I tried some of that last night, and it missed. And then I was trying, okay, well, forget that. Let me try the EX Yoga Flame, and then it would still miss. I was like, so basically what I need to do is I feel like, lab it out a little bit and practice a little bit to figure out what is it, you know, what am I doing wrong? Because I had lots of opportunities to do big combos and big damage, and I was dropping it, and it was frustrating. Another thing that I'm noticing is with Dalsim, okay, all of his limbs have a couple different versions. There's like a back version where you hold back and press the button. There's a low version that goes kind of a lower stretchy move, and then there's the extended versions. Sometimes, when it's very important that I get one limb, I would get the other version by accident. And that was frustrating, because there were entire matches I would have won if I got the right limb, and I'm getting the wrong limb, and I'm like, why is that? And lastly, and this was really weird, some matches, I would be able to do the instant air hover, not the teleport, but the hover, where you jump and you hover in midair, like, you know, like doing the cross-legged yoga floating pose or whatever. I could do it easily, a million times. And then there'd be other matches, literally it would not come out once, I'd get the teleport instead. Now, just so you know, the movement is, if you're in the air and you want to teleport, you hold forward and back and you press 3 kicks. If you want to hover, you jump and you press down in 3 kicks. Down versus forward and back are different, pretty different directions. But how is it that some matches, I would get it all the time, no problem, and others, it literally would not work once? It's the same joystick. It's the same character. I'm the same player. I'm pretty sure that I didn't forget to press down. I'm pressing forward and back. You know, again, it's something to do with the online play of this game, where half the time it's reading your inputs wrong or giving you a different input, or like maybe I jump back and then I go down in 3 kicks, but it's still reading back, so it teleports me back instead. Why is it so fucking delayed, right? So it's frustrating, because with a character like Dalsim, you absolutely need every input to come out. If you drop one input, someone ends up in your face, and now it's hard to get them out of your face, because he doesn't really have many options besides drive reversal to get someone off of you. So yeah, it can be really frustrating. Thing is, I was pleased with how it went. I was getting some big combos, some big strategy. I was keeping people away for entire matches. Again, diamond players, I was keeping away and beating them in sets. And I'm like, dude, I don't even really know what I'm doing. I'm just learning and I'm kicking ass. This is really cool, right? So I had a great time. And I want to say thanks, because people showed up and they did engage and support with that stream. However, the video views overnight are not good. And I think what it is people are burnt out on Street Fighter 6. If people want to see someone play Street Fighter 6 at this point, they're probably going to go watch someone who's been playing it forever. These people who are just pro fighting game players, or people who've been playing it since launch and never stopped. You know me, I was never going to be that guy. I was always going to eventually, balance it with other games. It wasn't going to be my full-time focus forever. I'm not a try-hard here, just trying to constantly do ranked and get master with every character immediately. You know what I'm saying? So, the video views, not very good. Stream did great. People were there, they enjoyed, and they supported. So, for me, it's a mixed bag. But overall, hey, I enjoyed the stream. I had a good time learning with Dalsim. I want to continue that path. I want to continue that journey. So for me, I saw it as a victory and a win. I enjoyed it. Okay? So there you go. Okay? All right. So all that being said, that's what's going on right now. What I'd like to do is quickly go through the schedule for the week, because there's a lot going on this week. And then we got game news to cover, and then we got shout-outs and all our usual segments. Okay? Schedule. Today, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 returns. The multiplayer madness resumes. Last stream, oh my god, was a super good one, correct? Seriously, it was very, very good. We ended up not only getting all the daily objectives done, but I started using a sniper rifle for the first time, and it was a sniper rifle I had unlocked by doing the objectives. It's really good. Isn't it called like the KV or the KCV? I can't remember what it's called, but it's super good. It's very damaging. It's fast. You can usually get 2 shots off relatively fast against somebody. And I went on a tear. That last match of Modern Warfare 3, I got 33 kills and like 5 deaths. I had the biggest kill streak I ever had. I got the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut came down, and I got like 12, 15 kills with the Juggernaut. Then I went back to... I got a lot of knife kills. Like, it was insane. I was doing so well. I was really enjoying myself, and I ran out of time. I'm like, oh, shit. So, I certainly hope that you guys are going to hang around. I certainly hope that you guys are going to chill and enjoy, and please engage and support with Modern Warfare 3 being a day stream. Remember, originally it was day streams. We did 2 big day streams of it, and you guys seem to really like it. Then I turned it to a night stream, and sometimes it's been good, sometimes it hasn't been. But you guys, you know, are telling me that you're really enjoying the gameplay. You know, as long as I get into it, and I think I will. You know, I've been enjoying myself. I do fun commentary and everything as I'm playing. I'll be honest. I think the daily objectives are all right. They're not that bad. It gives you something a little different to do. Rather than just playing for the sake of playing, now you have an objective to unlock better stuff and things. So, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for today to jump back in and see how it goes. I hope that you guys will hang out and again, support, and hopefully it'll go well. If it does, I'll keep it in the daytime rotation. You know, if it doesn't, then maybe it'll go back to night streams. I don't know. We'll see. But hopefully it goes well today, okay? So that's the day stream. Now, tonight's late stream, on the flip side of this, is Like a Dragon Gaiden. That's a game that came out last week. I played it twice as day streams, but moving forward, it will be night streams. It is definitely a late-night chill-style game. You're in open-world Sotenbori in Tokyo, and you're doing all this questing. You're fighting random people. You're giving items to random people. You're doing little mini-games. You're seeking hidden items. You're opening lockers. You know, it's open-world fun in the world of Yakuza / Like a Dragon. It's good for chill streaming because it allows us to have fun conversation while I'm doing the stuff. So it's perfect for a night stream. And I am excited to play it tonight with all of you and have a good hangout session. So I hope you'll come back tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time for that. Tomorrow is my weekly React show, DSP versus the Internet, over on my sister channel, DSP Reacts. So if you have not yet posted up the clips that you want to see on the show because you're a member over there, you must post them up by the end of tonight's late stream. Because after that late stream is when I sit down and I make the playlist for the channel, and we go from there. All right, so please post up as soon as possible. So tomorrow we'll have a podcast here. Then we'll all head over there for the React show for 3 hours, okay? Then after that, tomorrow night, get this, the return of Starfield to the late streams for a 2-hour late-night chill session, all right? We are going to try to advance the story. From what I understand, there's only 4 to 6 hours left in the story of the game, and that's the end of the game, unless you want to do other factions, unless you want to do companion quests, and I'll be honest. No, I don't want to do any of that. Why? Because the story of the game makes it all meaningless. Now, without spoiling, I can't explain that. But when we play it on Sunday night, I'll explain my full thoughts to you guys about this. But I want to finish it. We were 40 hours in the Starfield. I at least want to see the end of the main story of the game. So we're going to do that. Okay? So, that's Sunday night. Monday, it'll be more Super Mario RPG and more Street Fighter 6, probably more Dalsim. And then Tuesday, more Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer and more Like a Dragon Gaiden. That's the streaming week. I'm off on Wednesday of this week, a day early. But then when I come back on Thursday, it's American Thanksgiving. We're going to have a special. We're going to have a podcast. We're going to have a chill session where we talk about Thanksgiving. I'll tell you what I'm grateful for. I'll tell you about how this year has gone and my plans for the future and things like that. And then we're going to do a special tier maker ranking of foods for American Thanksgiving together. We're going to rank them as what's best, what's your favorite, what's my favorite. We're going to rank them all, and then we'll see if there's extra time to do other stuff, okay? But that's only one stream on Thanksgiving, just one, because that night I'll be having a big meal with my family, including a turkey roast, a bunch of sides, all kinds of fun stuff. So no late stream that Thursday, but then that Friday, it's a special marathon. It is the Adpocalypse 2.0 cometh. It's going to be very fun. So that's Black Friday. That's the 24th coming up. It's going to be all day long, me reacting to advertisements that you submitted. It's right now, channel members are submitting here on DSP Gaming, as well as standard viewers. If you want to submit some retro ads for me to react to and watch during the show, please type !adpocalypse here in the chat. It'll bring up the link. If you're a channel member, go to the members tab on the channel here, and there's a thread there for it that you can post up exclusively, and we're going to watch the member suggestions first, and then we're going to watch the standard suggestions, okay? The more the merrier. The more ads we have to watch, the better this event will be. In addition to reacting to ads, there's going to be food, there's going to be some booze, there's going to be fun all day long. A nice chill day on Black Friday all day long. Now, you might say, well, I don't think that's going to work. That's not going to be a fun thing. That's what everyone said last year. And it ended up actually being the best event that I did in 2022. Like, people overall were like, wow, that was super fun and different and original. Will you do another one? People were asking me, would I do another one right away? And I was like, well, maybe we could do one for, like, I don't know, New Year's or something. And then we didn't do one, which is good. And now we're a year later, and now we're ready to bring it back, all right? So, I hope that you guys will submit more ads. Please do. We still have several days to go before the event, and I cannot wait for that. Now, after that ends, we go back to full-time gaming, so that, you know, that whole week we'll have more Super Mario RPG, more Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, more Street Fighter 6, hopefully more Starfield and getting near the end or finishing it, and more Like a Dragon Gaiden, okay? So there you go. And then we start planning the Christmas event. And the Christmas event is always fun. We get holiday animations here on the streams, right? We get a cool, festive Christmas vibe. We plan a special Christmas event where we usually do a marathon of games. And the question is, what games this year? Do you want to see me do Christmas-themed games or other things? Because there are Christmas-themed games to play this year. Always a good time. And thankfully, the sickness is almost, because you can hear, I don't have to blow my nose. The sickness is almost done from freaking Halloween. I hope we can do the Christmas event, because it really sucked missing Halloween this year. We got to go all out for Christmas and have a great Christmas event to make up for it, right? So I hope that we will have a good one, and we'll start planning on that soon. Like I said, right after Thanksgiving and the Black Friday, I'll probably update my animations and everything to have Christmas animations and things here on the streams. Okay, so that's the schedule. There we go. Got through it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for my favorite segment. It's time for your favorite segment. It's time for everyone's favorite segment here on the Level 1 Podcast. A little old segment we like to call DSP News. And today we have two big stories to cover on the show, which I will open right now. The first story. Well, actually, there's more than two stories. This is a very brief story. Dragon's Dogma 2's release date may have leaked. People have found ratings for the game online, and the release date listed is March 22nd, 2024, and supposedly a special event showcase stream is set for November 28th, 1 p.m. It looks like Dragon's Dogma is coming out, or Dragon's Dogma 2 is coming out late March. So that's a little bit of a spoiler that wasn't supposed to leak, but it did. Okay? Also, did you know that they are making a Willy Wonka-inspired Xbox Series X and controller? Yes, it is correct. It is a contest. It's not for purchase, but they're actually running a contest right now. I guess it's supposed to tie in with the new Willy Wonka movie coming out, I guess, next year. And so it's like an Xbox Series X that looks like a big chocolate bar, and actual controllers made of chocolate that you can eat. They don't work, but they look just like an Xbox. Like, it looks just like this, but it's made of chocolate, and you can eat it. So you should do that if you win. If you don't win the contest, you can't do it because it's only for a contest. It's a giveaway. But I would be interested in that, and I would love to eat it. Sounds delicious. I love chocolate. So so there you go. Okay. Very nice. Half-Life 1 has received a 25th anniversary edition free update from Valve, including 4 new multiplayer maps, updated graphical settings, controller and Steam Deck support, UI scaling for higher resolutions, restored content that originally was deleted from the original game, bug fixes, and more. People who are fans of the original Half-Life are ecstatic. They're like, oh my god, when do you see a free update for a game 25 years later? Everyone else is scratching their head saying, who cares? Half-Life is super dead. Why the fuck don't they just make a new one? That's not VR. But I guess it's nice if you're a fan of Half-Life. You haven't played the game in ages. You want a reason to go back. Free updates that make the game feel fresh and new, right? Why not? Why not do a nice run through Half-Life? I think it's nice. I think it's a nice thing that Valve did. They didn't have to do that. Certainly, they didn't have to add free content or whatever to a game that's 25 years old. And it's nice that they kind of came back with some quality of life improvements for like super fans of the series. So that was very nice of them. All right. Now it's time for the big two stories. Let's start off with this one. Ladies and gentlemen, it was originally leaked before it was fully announced. Sony got some egg on their face there and said, okay, I guess we should just go ahead and announce it fully then, because we're already the cat's out of the bag, as they say. Ladies and gentlemen, on January 19th, 2025, not 2025, excuse me, on January 19th, 2024, The Last of Us 2 Remastered will release. Yes, only a little over 3 years after the original release of this game, it is already being remastered. The difference this time, it's going to be on PlayStation 5 rather than on PlayStation 4. So, what's the difference between The Last of Us 2 and The Last of Us 2 Remastered? Well, here's the difference. Are you ready? I'm going to tell you. Graphical enhancements that are going to make it run better or look better on PS5. Lost level content being re-added to the game. Okay. Full DualSense wireless controller integration. So, haptic feedback, which the original didn't have. New outfits. Guitar free play. Meaning, I guess if you want to skip the guitar segments, you don't have to do the guitar segments. I wasn't aware that anyone hated the guitar segments so much that they were, like, upset. But apparently they're getting rid of that. Okay. And exclusive roguelike survival mode. Alright. So what does that mean? I don't know. You tell me what a roguelike survival mode is in The Last of Us universe. I don't know. So, again, better graphics, lost levels being re-added to the game, full haptic feedback, DualSense support, new outfits. You can play the game without playing the guitar, and a roguelike mode. Okay? That's what's going to be in The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Now, if you remember, when The Last of Us Part 1 was announced, remastered, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, because it was like The Last of Us 1, The Last of Us Part 1, The Last of Us Remastered, The Last of Us Re-Remastered, whatever the fuck it's called, right? My one major criticism was the price. I said, are they out of their fucking minds? They were charging $70 for The Last of Us Part 1 Re-Remaster, acting like it was a real new game. Okay? It's not. And in fact, they lied outright when they were releasing The Last of Us Part 1 Re-Remastered. They had said things, for example, oh, it's going to have completely redone animations. It's going to have completely revamped gameplay. It's going to have this and that. 100% lies. I watched someone play the entirety of The Last of Us Part 1. It's exactly the fucking same as the original game. Difference being, there's some weapon tweaking you can do. And that's about it. The graphics look better. Like they are better. The character models sometimes have been changed. Like Tess's character model is completely different in the Part 1 for some reason. And that's it. The gameplay is identical. No exaggeration. They didn't actually tweak the AI or anything. They lied about that outright. The AI is so stupid, it still walks right in front of you when you're trying to fire. It'll walk right in front of you. It'll walk right into the enemies and alert them. It's the dumbest AI ever in gaming. And they did not improve it at all. They claimed they did. It was a blatant lie. Okay? It's not worth $70 at all. Now, you can argue that in The Last of Us Part 1 Re-Remastered, they did add a bunch of new features, for example, accessibility features. And those accessibility features were never present in the original game. Therefore, it's worth the price tag, okay? If that's the case, and if someone had bought The Last of Us Part 1 remastered for $70, it was the first time they're playing it and the first time it was accessible to them, then I'll say that's justified. But for the most people who bought it, it was just rebuying the same game they'd already played 2 to 3 times. They were just fanboying over Naughty Dog, and, oh, look at the pretty graphics, and that was it. You paid $70 for slightly improved graphics, and everything else was completely identical. All right? It was a humongous, fucking crazy ripoff. But tons of people bought it because they're gullible. It's really sad, but just to say, they're gullible. So they'll just fucking buy anything that their favorite publisher puts out. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, in the case of The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, all right, you guys know me. I'm fair. I am an honest, fair guy. I'm going to say this. I can't complain about the price this time. Do you want to know why? Because it's $10. If you own The Last of Us Part 2 on PlayStation 4, which most people do, it's a $10 upgrade. Digital upgrade. Fine. I literally can't complain. I can't. I mean, I could say things like, it doesn't need a remaster 3 years later. Right? I could say that. But it's $10. So if you want slightly better graphics, if you're interested in getting haptic feedback, right? I don't know what this... when they say... I just want to be very, very careful here. I want everyone to temper their expectations, okay? When they say previously cut lost levels, I'm going to guarantee you're not going to get, like, giant levels missing. Oh, there was a whole 2-3 hour segment missing from the original game we're re-adding to the game. You're going to get a few extra cutscenes, maybe a few extra areas that they closed off. This is not going to be, for $10, there is no fucking way that they're adding in giant levels to this game. I think when they call it lost levels, that's insane. That sounds to me like it's Super Mario Bros. 2 Japanese edition. It's a whole new game. No. They will never give you that. It's going to be a little bit of content. And I think that some people are going to misunderstand that and go into it the wrong expectations. Because once again, the marketing's important and they love to mismarket. Naughty Dog loves to mismarket their products and then everyone just forgives them. Okay? I guarantee you that this is not going to be a giant amount of content. Maybe a few. But here's the thing. For $10, slightly improved graphics, haptic feedback, whatever this roguelike mode is, right? And a few pieces of cut content that are added back in, and you can play it on your PS5. I'm serious. That's definitely the value for me. Like $10 for that, I would pay $10 for that. For a game that I love, I would pay $10 for that right now. So I can't actually criticize Naughty Dog in this one. Even though it's only been 3 years, it's only $10. So they did exactly the right thing. They're not overcharging. They're not forcing people to pay $70. They realize the accessibility features were already in. Remember, Last of Us 2 won awards for accessibility. You can't now tout, oh, pay $70 because it has accessibility features. They were in the original, right? So the $10 is justified. You guys probably thought I was going to freak out about this today, right? You're probably, oh, Phil's going to go on a big rant again about all of that. I can't. They're actually doing the right thing for once. All right? However, it's funny because you may say to yourself, well, wait a minute. I don't understand. What happened? Wasn't Naughty Dog making a multiplayer game of The Last of Us 2? Oh, they were, but they canceled it. Did you know that? We talked about this a couple months ago. That when Last of Us 2 came out in 2020, it was supposed to have a multiplayer mode. They delayed it and said it's still coming. Don't worry. You paid $60, $70 for this game. You're still going to get your multiplayer mode in the future. Then they delayed it again. Then they canceled it and said it's going to be a standalone multiplayer game that we're designing to be its own game. So please forgive us for not giving it to you as promised in the original product. We're trying to make a better game. And then it was announced a couple months ago they canceled the whole fucking thing. So The Last of Us 2 was a bait and switch. They promised you this suite of content and then they didn't give it to you. But again, people were so wrapped up in the liberal agenda of the game that Druckmann himself pushed, the director, that they forgot all about the fact that we all got ripped off and was supposed to have multiplayer it didn't have. And now they're never making it. They literally have canceled it completely. They're not making it anymore. So, in regards to the $10 update, I can't complain. $10 is fine. However, I'm going to give some credit. I'm going to read a tweet to you from Legacy Killa HD, on Twitter. He made a pretty poignant tweet last night, alrighty? Here's what he said. What Sony did last gen, they delivered non-stop award-winning single-player story-driven games. Agree. PlayStation 4 era was great for Sony in that regard. What Sony is doing this gen is remastering their last gen award-winning single-player story-driven games. That's right. They keep remastering those games and pumping out these remasters. What Sony actually wanted to do this gen was deliver non-stop award-winning live service games. That's correct. If you go back in time a few years, all Sony management was saying was, the future is live service. We're going to present a million live service games, and everyone's going to love this live service model, and we're going to take all our IPs into live service. And what happened? Do you want to know what happened? Avengers. That Avengers game, that Crystal Dynamics Avengers game from a few years ago, people grossly underestimate the impact that game had when it flopped. That game alone was the poster child example to game development companies saying, live service will never work, no one wants it, drop all of your plans and ideas right now and make something else. That's why Gotham Knights was changed from live service into a single-player experience, and that's why a lot of other games, like, for example, Suicide Squad from Rocksteady, are the same deal. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, 100% I agree with Legacy Killer. Sony abso-fucking-lutely jumped into the live service bandwagon, and they were probably putting all of their resources. How much do you want to bet Naughty Dog's multiplayer game for The Last of Us was going to be the live service model? You were going to originally be presented with a certain amount of content, and then they were going to piecemeal keep charging you for skins and DLCs and updates to keep playing it. And when they saw Avengers flop, oh fuck, right? That was the end of it. They all decided, well, we're not going to develop these games anymore because they're not going to go anywhere. So what are we going to do? Quick, remaster the game we already did. Quick, remaster this game. Keep selling them. We need some income, so keep selling them, right? So what we're seeing right now is panic mode from these game devs. They don't know what to do because this is what they were working on. No one wants the junk they were working on, so all those projects are getting canceled. And now basically we're in a situation where, you know, they're all running around with their, oh my God, the sky is falling. What do? We'll pump out rehashed shit, rehash shit. So there you go. So if you're interested for, to play this game, go for it. It's $10. I literally will not criticize you. If you are a fan of The Last of Us Part 2 and you want to play the game again with better graphics, haptic feedback, a roguelike mode, and some tweaks, $10 is a fine price for that. I cannot criticize Naughty Dog at all for that. Enjoy. But outside of that, I certainly am not going to pay $10 to play that fucking stinker again. You guys know how much I hated the story. The graphics were outstanding. The gameplay elements were improved and good. The level design was excellent. Even the music, I loved it. The light, everything. The one problem, the story is terrible. It's written by a hack, Neil Druckmann. It's written by a complete hack. You can tell the guy has no narrative experience of how to write a good story. The pacing's awful. The idea that you're supposed to like a character who murders one of the main characters of the previous game within the first half hour, and then you're supposed to like that character, you're out of your fucking mind. It's just one of the worst written misery games I've ever seen. It's like misery porn. They want you to get off on misery. I don't get off on misery. I don't. I have enough misery in my real life. I don't need to have fucking misery in my video game to get off on it. I'm not a fucking weirdo. So, the plot's terrible. It's one of the worst plots I've ever seen in a video game in my life. And you can tell that the guy literally was so full of his fucking self when he wrote it, thinking he was doing something different. And then he pushed it as, oh, well, if you don't like it, you're a bigot. Which is absolutely ridiculous. So, you can enjoy it if you want. You have the right to like what you want. If you want to pay $10 to play a better version, go for it. My opinion is that fucking plot is dog shit, and I never want to experience it ever again. So there you go. Okay, continuing on. The big story of today. Twitter/X/ whatever you want to call it may actually now be on its final death throes, and everyone seems to be at each other's necks about this, because here's what's happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. All right? Supposedly, and I say supposedly, Elon Musk made a tweet or series of tweets that people are claiming endorsed an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. The theory is thus, because I have it right here. Some user named Breaking Bot said, Jewish communities have been pushing the exact kind of dialectical hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them. And apparently Elon Musk responded, you have spoken the actual truth. So apparently when that happened, all right, word spread, oh my God, the owner of X is a fucking racist bigot to push that conspiracy theory, okay? And IBM, Disney, Lionsgate, European Union, Apple, and more, including NBC Universal, have all pulled their advertisements from X overnight regarding, and get this, a 90% drop in revenue for the company. They lost 90% of their money overnight. This is the exact equivalent to the ad apocalypse that happened here on YouTube in 2017 when Walmart, Starbucks, and all the major companies pulled their ads off YouTube after seeing them being put on anti-Semitic videos, racist videos, terrorist videos on YouTube. This is exactly the same thing that happened, okay? Now, here's the whole weird thing about it. I went to sleep, and that was the story. I woke up this morning, and the story is, stand with X. What does that mean? And so when you click on what is this stand with X topic? You click on it, and Elon Musk has publicly announced, along with his company, they are suing this company called, I gotta look it up. Hold on. I gotta look it up. Hold on. I'm gonna find it right now. They're suing a company. Now I can't fucking find the trend. Where the fuck did it go? Media Matters. That's the name of the company. Media Matters. And according to both Elon Musk as well as his company X, there's a company called Media Matters. And they put out a falsified story about X, claiming that X put advertisements and regularly puts advertisements on basically, you know, conspiracy theory, racist content. And apparently they performed a study and they showed, basically, oh, look, we did this tear into X, right? And here's an example of like 50 accounts, and all of them are either like anti-Semitic accounts or racist accounts or things that are bad, right? And we have evidence that all these accounts have ads on them right now. So here it is. And so they presented the evidence. They're like, so who would want to run ads on this site when they obviously are monetizing hate? People are being racist, bigoted, and saying awful things, and they're making money on it, and that's why they're doing it. Okay? So they supposedly put out this story or this article or this study, and according to Elon Musk and X, that's the reason why all the advertisers pulled out overnight. The story before I went to sleep was that Elon Musk made one or a series of anti-Semitic tweets or jumped on and agreed with anti-Semitic conspiracy theories on X, and that's why the ads are gone. I wake up in the morning and the story is Media Matters, some company I never heard of, launched a conspiracy campaign against X to misrepresent them, and that's why the ads are lost. So what actually happened? I don't know. Who do you believe? It's like two sides arguing, and no, this happened because of this, this happened because of this. So Elon and X are saying, we're going to sue this company Monday morning. When the courts open, the lawsuit's being filed, we're suing them. We looked at the data, and we can prove that their study is false. We can essentially prove that they doctored information to prove what they're saying, which is false. Like, they created dummy accounts. They did all this stuff. And so, really, it's not representative of what's on X. On X, I think what they were saying is, out of the 5 billion ad impressions that happened over a period of time, there was like 50 that went towards, like, the anti-Semitic stuff. And they're like, well, obviously you're going to get a tiny trickle. There's nothing you can do. The same thing happens on every format that has ads, but it's completely misrepresented. They're acting like a ton is going to awful content, when in reality, that's not the case. They're misrepresenting us on purpose because they don't like us politically, right? So anyway, the thing that gets me, really, is that I go to sleep and the story is one thing, and I wake up in the morning and the story is completely different. And the funny part about it is, I see no addressing of supposedly these anti-Semitic tweets, right? That apparently Elon made. I see nothing about that at all. Did they happen? Did they not happen? I mean, I'm not fucking stalking Elon Musk. I'm not seeing what he's posting on X. If the case is that the owner, all right, if the owner of X is saying things on X like, oh, I believe this conspiracy theory about, Jewish people hating white people or something like that, I can understand why major advertisers would pull out of the site. I totally get it. I do. Now, is that fair? Is it fair to everyone who operates on X, everyone who runs a business, that overnight now, there's no money to go around anymore? All that money that people were making running businesses on there is gone because one guy said something stupid on the site. No, that's not fair. But guess what? He's the fucking owner of the site. So if anyone was going to be held accountable for their thoughts on the site, it would be him, right? You know what I'm saying? So if he did actually say these things, I should say, and that's why the advertisers are pulling out, then it makes sense. It's sad. Like, I compare this to the YouTube adpocalypse. During the adpocalypse in 2017, it was a very small amount of YouTube content creators doing awful things, yet everyone got hurt. They made PewDiePie. They made the scapegoat. And they went to this one video. I guess he was playing some game. I can't remember what it was. And I think he said the N-word or something. I don't even know what it was. I don't remember anymore. But he did something bad. And they used that as an example. Here's a big gaming YouTuber. He's acting awfully. And here's all these... Look, here's a fucking Starbucks and Walmart ad on his video. Right? And then they would bring up, for example, here's a fucking video on YouTube that's trying to recruit terrorists. Right? It's saying all these awful things. And there's ads on it. So they used those as the poster examples. They went to the major corporations advertising on YouTube and said, here it is. And because of that, they all pulled out. I remember exactly when it happened. February 2017. Ad revenue went from up here to way the fuck down here. Less than half of what people were making on YouTube overnight. And we were all panicking. Like, what are we supposed to do? This is how we make our living. And now we all get hurt. We didn't do it. We're not the ones doing the awful things. So why do we get hurt? Why do we lose ads? Why do we lose our living for the actions of others? It doesn't make sense, right? So in this case, this could be a situation where it's actually Elon Musk, the owner of X, that's costing everyone money in their livelihoods. People were doing business on Twitter X, and now they might not be able to because there's no ads anymore, right? But really what gets me is that overnight, the story completely changed. I'm just baffled at this, right? I really am. I'm baffled. How can you say overnight that the story was that he made anti-Semitic tweets and that's why everyone backed out, advertisement-wise, and you wake up in the morning and the story is, oh no, it was this media company who misrepresented us and made a false story, a bogus story, and we can prove the story is false, and that's why this is happening, and we're suing them because they lied. And so, wait, but that's not the story. That wasn't the story when I went to sleep. The story was the tweets. Did the tweets happen? Did they not? What's really going on here? So, I don't know. But here's the thing. I've seen this happen before. All right? I don't know if X can survive. Being honest. YouTube can survive. Why can YouTube survive? It's backed by Google. Google has infinite money. Right? X is not backed by infinite money. Yeah, Elon Musk is rich, but he already overspent to buy the company. Why do you think he's made so many changes in the last year? He takes away features of X. He's taken away tons of features of the site. And now he's trying to force everyone to get a paid membership. I'm never paying for a membership on X. I would never will do that. That's a complete waste of money. It doesn't benefit me whatsoever. So I get the feeling what's going to happen is if they really do lose 90% of their advertisers, which it sounds like they're about to, or they already have, they're going to force everyone to pay for the site. And once they do, they're going to lose probably, arguably, 80% of their users overnight. It'll go from, oh my God, look at all the engagement of everything on our site, to, oh shit, well, we can't report any numbers anymore because everyone quit the site because we're forcing people to pay for it, right? So I really feel, I really feel like this is a situation where we're going to see that possibly a humongous negative change to X. I really feel that way. I do. Now, here's the thing. As you guys know, I've already started my transition off of X earlier this year. When I saw Elon bought the site a year ago, I started seeing negative changes. I saw the writing on the wall, and I said to you guys, listen, I've liked using the site. I don't see the purpose anymore. I will mirror everything that I post on X, also on my community page on DSPGaming. If you want to be in the know, subscribe to the channel. That's how you're going to be in the know about me and what I'm doing, because I'll always post up on the community tab of the channel. You know, there are some people who do still follow me on X and Twitter. Thank you for those who do. But as you know, I don't really post significant content on there. It's basically just mirrored. Okay? So, but there's a reason. You know, I used to post content up on there. But why am I going to do that when every moment since this guy bought the site, he's just fucked it up worse? And by the way, I will say this. It is so bad, all right? I'm going to give you an example. When you were on Twitter back in the day, and you would follow topics. I want to follow video games. I want to follow Marvel movies. I want to follow pro wrestling, right? You'll follow topics. And then you would say, okay, well, I don't want to follow pro wrestling anymore. I'm going to uncheck that one, okay? You can do that. Now, their site is so bad, all right? If you want to unfollow a topic, here's what happens. You unfollow the topic, it doesn't do anything. You want to know why? Because their fucking AI auto-generates topics based on the topics you've already said you want to watch. So even though you had one in there, I changed my mind, I don't want to follow it anymore. They've already auto-generated 50 topics based on that you now have to manually delete. And by the time you manually delete them, more are generated. I know because I did this last night. I was like, wait a minute, I unfollowed pro wrestling like months ago. Why am I still constantly getting pro wrestling in my feed? I don't care about fucking pro wrestling. I don't want news about WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, or any of these people. I don't care about them anymore. So I went and I looked and I dived into the data. I'm not shitting you. What it did, it took the name of every fucking pro wrestler on the planet and it put them as a related interest in my feed. So I sat there unchecking a million topics, and when I got through about 20, the site errored out and said, you've clicked too many, come back later. So it only unchecked 20 and wouldn't allow me to continue to uncheck content. So not only does the site erroneously force feed you crap you don't want, if you tell it you don't want it anymore, it already auto-generated more crap you can't stop, and then when you try to unselect the shit you don't want, it fucking errors out. The site is terrible. They've literally fucked their whole site up. In the last year that he's owned it, the whole site's went right downhill. It's gotten nothing but worse. And I don't see it getting better, okay? So, it is what it is. Sounds like X is on the way out. Sad, obviously. I mean, Twitter was the biggest place for social media. It outdid everything. It was bigger than every other social media outlet out there. At one point, it was everyone would go for news. Everyone would go for discussion. Everyone went for all the big hot topics. And now it's falling apart. And I get the feeling now this is the tipping block. When there's no ads, and now they're going to start forcing people to pay to use it, people are just going to leave. And I don't know if I've seen someone tank something as bad as this in such a short period of time. Like, you can argue businesses have tanked before. I don't think I've ever seen a business in 1 year tank as bad as X/Twitter has. So yeah, pretty bad. Who knows what's gonna happen, but pretty sad. Now, again, is this classic misdirection where what happened actually did happen and that's why the advertisers left with the controversy tweets that apparently Elon put out? Is it a lie? and really it's this media company that did misinformation, and that's what happened. Who knows? Who do you believe? The real truth is, who cares? No, most people who are using Twitter and X don't give a fuck. They just want to use it, and they have to be put into these fucking battles every day. It's so stupid, right? It's the dumbest shit. So, anyway, guys, let's get to shout-outs now. We've gone very long on the news segment. I knew we would because there's a lot of news to talk about today, and I wanted to get to the news. Thank you for watching the news segment. Let's now get to shout-outs. We start off today with Sean, who did a super chat and says, Destiny doesn't game during interviews anymore. Any chance? First of all, why did he change? I was told the reason that he played games during his interviews is because he has an illness or a condition that he can't pay attention to one thing. That it actually is hard for him to do that. And that's why he does it that way. Why would he have changed his interview style? That's confusing to me. Did he get feedback from, like, me? Because remember, that was my criticism of him last year when people said, will you do an interview with Destiny? I said, I watched his interview with LTG and I hated it because it looks like he's not paying attention, and that would drive me nuts. So it's not that I don't think he's a valid interviewer. That interview style is terrible to me. I don't want to make him change. I'm not going to do it. I'm curious what happened there. All right? But I'm not seeking to do an interview. I'm done with the whole thing, you know? Why do you think I'm asking you guys about the Turkey Tom thing? Because I'm not looking for an interview. That's why. So, there you go. Engine and Tonic TM with a 10 pound super chat. Thank you for that. It says Sony have got to revive some of their old IPs like Jack, Resistance, Killzone. Seeing The Last of Us and God of War over and over again is obnoxious now. I mean, it seems like they have forgotten quite a lot, right? It does seem like they are ignoring certain IPs and the like. The thing is, they did redo those, but it was PS3 era. Remember, Jack Collection, Ratchet and Clank Collection, they did redo those games in HD for modern consoles, but it was 2 console gens ago. And it seems like a lot of those have been forgotten, right? For sure, I agree with you that a lot of those seem to have truly been forgotten and they're not even talking about them anymore. So, I don't know, maybe they would bring those back eventually, but right now, you're right, the focus just seems to solely be on The Last of Us. By the way, if you're wondering what that sound is, I have no fucking clue. It's Saturday, there's no landscapers here today, so I don't know what the hell that sound is out there. I'll have to go look in a second, I guess. Thank you to Radical Jaws, who has re-upped their membership this morning, and that counts as a new membership. So we're at $4.99. Now, guys, the goal for today is 510 members. All right? We're trying to have solid growth and solid progress every day here. Please consider supporting the channel today, whether it be becoming a member or gifting some memberships to the community, whether it be a super chat, super sticker, or a tip. Please support the channel today. I'm bringing Modern Warfare 3 back to the day streams per your request. That's the only reason I'm doing it. So please, if you can, please support the channel in some way. All right? Thank you. Let's see here. I got an $8 tip from Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix. The Twitter X apocalypse is not a shocker. It's another example as to why high-profile people like Elon Musk just need to stay out of politics. It leads to chaotic nonsense. Respect to you for staying out of politics and focusing on entertaining us. I do have a question for the Magic 8 Ball. Okay. Will people with different political and religious views ever learn to live in harmony with each other? My sources say no. There you go. Thank you for the $8 tip. Now, I would put you up on the leaderboard, except there's another tip coming up that's a little bigger. So, apologies. Please be just patient for a second. But thank you for the $8 tip. First tip of the day. Okay. Here we go. I received a $10 tip from Dan the Man. Thank you to Dan the Man for a $10 tip. I very much appreciate that. That gets us up to $18 in tips. And I'm just curious, before I put Dan on the leaderboard, if there is anything else. Hold on. There's a $20 tip for 1 Minute Man. He says, Don't do the interview. There's nothing in it for you. That guy is more slippery than the side scrollers. Wow. 1 Minute Man with the weighing in a huge way. Thank you, 1 Minute Man, for your opinion. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. So that's a $20 tip from 1 Minute Man. More slippery than the side scrollers. Wow. And then, overnight there was a tip. I almost forgot about it, but I've seen it. Overnight I received a $7 tip from Ponage 101. He says, I'm not sure it would be a good idea for you to take a few shots during Black Friday. Now, for those who don't know, this coming Friday, again, is the Adpocalypse Marathon, where I'm going to be reacting to ads all day. And I said, hey, if I get some contributions, you know, of a certain level, maybe I'll take a shot for big contributions and stuff like that. I have leftover liquor. I do. I have leftover bourbon. I have leftover flavored vodka. I have some tequila, and I have some Kahlua. I have all these liquors saved from like this last year. I have all this in my, you know, saved up, and I'm like, oh, I could probably do shots of different things if people contribute in different ways. You know, I could do that. So Ponage 101 says, I don't think it would be a good idea. If I'm not mistaken, your wife works on that day. It would usually bring her to work, especially with how crazy people are on Black Friday, but it's up to you. Here's the deal. Yes, this is true. She doesn't have to work this year on Black Friday. I know that's like a miracle, but I don't know how it happened. She doesn't have to work on Black Friday. She is working this week, just not Black Friday. So because of that, I don't have to take her to work. I don't have to bring her home. We don't have to drive that day at all, which is excellent because, my God, we know how bad it is. So that's actually great news, right? So yeah, so the good news is during my adpocalypse, if I want to have a drink or not, I can. I don't have to drive that day, so I'm safe. And by the way, I would never drink and drive. I don't, you know, I told you guys some bad stories about when I was younger, when I was in my 20s and I was irresponsible and I held various office jobs and we'd go to like a bar and we'd drink and then I'd drive home and I'd be like, oh my God, why am I doing this to myself? And I still remember this one day, I wasn't planning on this to happen, but it started snowing. And I had to drive home on the highway in fucking snow while I was like half-cocked, buzzed. And it was the worst. I got home covered in sweat, shocked I didn't kill myself. And after then, I was like, dude, I'm never drinking and driving ever again. Like that, and I haven't since. I won't. I will not do it. It's fucking crazy. It's not worth it, man. It's just not worth it. It's stupid as shit to do that. So don't worry. If I had to go drive her to work or drop her off or pick her up, I would not be drinking. Trust me. But luckily, I'm staying home on Friday. So there you go. Okay. Continuing on. I got a $1.50 tip from an anonymous tipper. I kind of expected this ad revenue thing to happen regardless. Elon was pushing for complete unregulated free speech. It has just turned the website into a 4chan light. Not to mention allowing people to buy their way to the top of discoverability. Yeah, you're right, and that has happened for a long time. Buying your way into prominence, right? How stupid is that? So not based on what you're saying, but based on if you spent money. That determines if people see your tweet or not. Isn't that great? I told you, since he instituted those changes, that's when I stayed away. That's why I was like, nah, I'm not going to be using Twitter/X anymore. It's just going to be a mirror. I'm not going to bother putting original content on there when I have to pay for it to be seen. Fuck that shit. You know? I'll just do my thing on YouTube like I've been doing. So. Okay. Adam, to me, $4.20. He says, I vote for no interview. Not needed. So it sure seems like you guys are very, very against the interview, right? You guys are almost totally against it at this point. Again, please give me feedback if you're watching this video on demand. I need your feedback. I want to know what you guys think in regard to this. I want more feedback. The more, the better. But right now, seems like the vast majority of the viewers here are against it. And Dan also re-upping his membership for 22 months this morning and says, hey, Phil, what's going on? Dan, thank you for the tip. All right, guys, I think it is time to end the show. I think it's time for a brief break for me to use the restroom. and we're jumping into Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. I can't wait. I started doing really well with the sniper rifle, right? So I'm excited to see if I can keep that going. Of course, I don't know what the daily challenges are for today. We'll find out, but I'm excited. I mean, I've been having good fun with Modern Warfare 3 recently. What's going on, Jade? Good to see you. Mark McCauley also saying, please don't do the interview. Wow. You guys are so... Here's the fun part about this, too. I mean, seriously. Before the Side-Scrollers interview, you guys were like, do an interview, right? And then you guys saw what happened, right? So, you see what happens, how people treat people on the internet for personal gain, right? And those guys, 100% were of the impression it was going to be fair, it was going to be, you know, objective, and then they were going to have me on the show as a regular guest, and then they completely lied about all of it. It just, after the interview, it was like, anything else that they had said was just completely a lie. They forgot about all of it. Oh, we're going to do a whole show shitting on Phil. Oh, look, we made lots of money. Let's keep doing that over and over, right? And then continue that trend all year as much as we can to make more money. And then on top of that, you know, just trying to ride the coattails of me. Again, the funny part is, that interview they did with me is the most popularity they'll ever have. They will never do another thing that will be that popular. Never. That was it. That was their one shot. They did it. They milked it. And now they're gone, right? They still make content, but they're never going to get that kind of popularity ever again. Oh, wait. I take that back. They'd get popularity again if I went on their show again. Seriously. If I went on their show a second time, that would be the most attention they would ever get again. Anyway. Let's continue. More content, or more support. Adam Outlaw just became a member. Thank you to Adam Outlaw for the membership. I appreciate that. And then Apollo became a member. Phil, I definitely would avoid the interview. There you go. Wow. Everyone is anti-interview. Everyone. Holy moly. Again, I'm going to judge for myself, but I want more feedback. And don't worry, if I decide against the interview, I'm going to tell Turkey Tom, this is no offense to you. This is what happens when people treat people poorly on the internet, is no one trusts anymore, right? It's impossible to trust someone when you've literally in that same year been completely treated like dirt and screwed over for personal gain. So, more tips. Good Lord. I wanted to end the show, but I guess not. A $10 tip from Wumba. Call of Duty is one of the consistent series that I enjoy seeing you play, so please keep it up. Thank you to Wumba for a $10 tip. I appreciate that. I wonder if we'll see Abdullah today, because Abdullah was coming by for the streams, but he can't come to the night streams. And he really enjoys the Call of Duty stuff. I wonder if he'll be here today. So thank you, Wumba. Jade also says, no interview. Wow. I received a $5.15 tip. I tipped during the Modern Warfare 3 beta saying, I started watching you during the original Modern Warfare 2. It's been really enjoyable seeing you play on the maps again. You should try the Bruin. What is the Bruin? A gun, I'm assuming? A Bruin? Alright, I'll have to look into that. I don't know what the Bruin is. What type of weapon would that be? I don't know. I'll have to try to figure it out. Okay, that gets us up to 63. And then I received... Derek also says, no interview, please. Turtle Dude says, the interview sounds dumb. Wow. Okay, so this is just a troll, so I ignore them. Okay, there we go. All right. Would I watch the VGAs if Poets of the Fallen Alan Wake 2 cast perform Herald of Darkness live as a musical act? It would be the best thing the VGAs ever did. It would, I agree. I don't know if I would watch the VGAs. I might watch clips of it and react. You know, I'm not going to watch the whole fucking... It's too long, man. I can sit there for how many hours? Is it 3 hours or something crazy, stupid? Fucking sit there all night? Fuck that. Derek, nah, skip those. Skip the mad drunk driving ads. I don't want to see those. My personal preference. DSPGaming says, remember, you don't have to do daily challenges anymore. All you have to do is get wins. The free guitar play, being able to use the guitar whenever you want in Last of Us Part 2. Oh, it's the opposite. Instead of not having to use the guitar, now you can use the guitar whenever you want. Great. You know what? When you go into the infected treatment center in the basement and you're fighting that giant mutant that's all the bodies amalgamated into one, I'm gonna start playing a ditty. Mutated monster comes for me. I wonder if he likes history music, G. I said, and then he takes the guitar, goes, boom, he smashes on your head, and he grabs your eyeballs, and he pops them like grapes, his blood squirting everywhere, and he rips your skull in two. That's going to be a great gameplay session. Anyway. All right. Guys, we got to end the show, man. We have to. This show is going way too long. We got to get started with Modern Warfare 3 for today. All right. So thank you all. It's been a great show. I appreciate all of you supporting and chilling with me. Tomorrow, I'll talk about my experience today, obviously, in Modern Warfare. I'll talk about how Like a Dragon Gaiden went. We'll see if there's any more news updates on these stories and the like, and we'll go from there. I thank you all. You guys are awesome. Great show today. Thanks for the feedback. Again, please give me your feedback. Leave comments on this video and let me know what you think about... Excuse me. Please let me know about the topics discussed. And we'll see what happens. Thank you all. See you tomorrow.